Happy Friday. Yes, I'm still working. It's a little bit after 8 o'clock in the evening on Father's Day, August 27th, 2021. Friday evening. Today, the past couple days have been kind of, I don't know, bad days. I've been kind of sad or a little down. I guess that happens sometimes, doesn't it? And sometimes that's just the way it is. Sometimes it comes from in here and you're just sad. Sometimes something's going on in your life or your day. We talked about the dog days of summer. It seems like we're in the dog days of summer, although summer's going to be coming to an end soon, which is a little bit sad too. And the news in the world isn't very uplifting right now. Obviously, I don't know when or how old you'll be or if you'll ever watch these videos. My hope is that you will at some point. But at some point in your life, I will hope that you'll take an interest in current events and world events and politics and geopolitical issues and geoeconomic issues. Obviously, you got to get the basics first. We learned the alphabet. You got to learn cursive and mathematics and arithmetic and reading and writing. But those issues are important. This week, here, the August 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th of 2021, all of those days happen to be Father's Day for us, obviously, but the U.S., the United States military presence in Afghanistan, the country of Afghanistan, it's a country a little bit northeast of India, and anyway, we have had a presence there. The United States has had a presence there since 2001, so 20 years. It's a pretty long time, relatively speaking, in some ways. Since basically the October after the 9/11 attacks in September of 2001, where the U.S. forces there essentially took out the Taliban, which was the ruling party of Afghanistan at the time, and neutralized Al-Qaeda, which was basically a terrorist false flag group that was being used by the Taliban and some other governments to create destruction and death around the world. Joe Biden happens to be the person that is referred to as president right now, and I'll let you kind of research, and we may discuss later the election of 2020, which will go down in history as a very interesting set of events. Joe Biden holds the title of president right now of the United States, and that also means he is therefore commander-in-chief of the armed forces, the U.S. armed forces, and he has decided, or his administration had decided at some point, to go forward with a forced withdrawal of troops, of soldiers, out of Afghanistan so as to victoriously end that war, end that conflict. Afghanistan has never been effectively conquered, and there's a book out called 1,000 Years for Revenge that talks about how the land of Afghanistan can't successfully be occupied, it can't successfully be won in a war. And so I don't know if leadership in the United States ever had a wish to stay there forever, eternally, so I suppose it would have had to have come to an end at some point, and we would have had to have dealt with the security concerns that come with that, and who will take over Afghanistan. Will they support other terror networks and criminal networks that may cause death and destruction around the globe, and how do you do that? But anyway, Mr. Biden, the person who holds the title of president this year currently, decided to go ahead and forcefully withdraw troops, and it was a disaster. There were dozens of Americans were killed. Hundreds, if not thousands, of Afghans were killed, and there were videos and reports of aircraft taking off from the airport in a hurry and dragging people with them. And so I'll let you can look that up. It happened in August 2021, but that's what's going on in our news today. It's not a happy story. And I don't know if you can ever make certain things a happy story. I think some things are eventualities that, you know, are just going to be difficult. But it would seem that other leaders would perhaps not have had this same problem. And that's my opinion. No one knows. But anyway, that's what's going on. It's not been a happy scene in Afghanistan, and it's not a happy scene in the perspective of the United States. It doesn't make our country look very good. It doesn't make us look very competent, very much in control, and like we know what we're doing. So Mr. Biden also indicated in one of the press conferences today that he was instructed by someone to or to not take questions regarding Afghanistan, and this is something else to be consider. The way that it's supposed to work in our country is leaders, politicians, presidents represent the people and should be held accountable to the people, by the people, and by the press. And that's not necessarily happening so much. Some people think, and I happen to agree with them. It would be unfortunate if our government is not as transparent and is in fact not being run and managed in the way that we're told it should be run and managed, and that it is being run and managed. It would be unfortunate if that's not the case, if perhaps in fact Mr. Biden is being instructed by other people that were not elected. Focusing on world events and politics and geopolitical concerns and geoeconomic concerns is important to be a good citizen. And so I hope that as you grow up and you get older, you'll keep an open mind and you'll work hard at reading and learning and listening to all of those things that make up our world, that make up our history, our past, that make up the events in our world that can sometimes give and take life and build nations and break nations. So it's an important thing to do, to be a good citizen. And being a good citizen is one of the utmost responsibilities that we have if we want freedom. So it's an unfortunate set of events that have happened this week in the world with Afghanistan. We haven't talked much about that, and I thought it's Friday, it's 8 o'clock, and I'm still at work, so maybe I would give you my thoughts on that. I didn't vote for Joe Biden, and I'm not happy with these events. And so I hope that you'll come to your own opinions through the reading and the listening and the learning that you do, and with your wish and my wish for you to be a good citizen. We have to continue to try to be good citizens. It's an active thing. We're always trying to constantly learn and constantly better ourselves in how we participate in our communities and in our country and how we enact our citizenship. So it's something that we do the rest of our lives, whether we're 1 year old, 4 years old, or 40 years old. Okay? Just like being a daddy. We got to keep trying and keep working and keep doing it every day. Okay? Happy Father's Day. August 27th, 2021.